Punawala, respond to Charan Sapra. In the past, your allies, JDU, Shiv Sena, have also voted for UPA nominees for president, and therefore it's no big deal. It doesn't show the opposition is in tatters. 2024 is a different battle, says Sapra.
First of all, it's not a case of Modi-cracy versus democracy. It is about Congress being crazy about Modi. This craziness for one person is the reason for half of their ills. They just can't get over this, phobia of one person. Now, let me explain to you. Today, Rahul was making a very insightful point. The BJD, we are the principal competitors against BJD, right, in Odisha, but they have voted for us. We are principal competitors against Uddhav Sena in Maharashtra. They are voting for us. We are principal competitors against JMM in Jharkhand. They are voting for us. And we don't sit on arrogance that we 100 saal purani party hai. Even a person like O.P. Rajbar was contacted at various levels by the candidate and by our other leaders, and we fully requested all of them to come together, because this we consider as a historic moment. This is the people's president. APJ Abdul Kalam was one of our picks. Then we had Ramnath Kovindji and now Murmuji. So they can say whatever they like. 60% of our cabinet is SC, ST, OBC people. Our prime minister is from the OBC community, the longest serving OBC prime minister of this country. They can make all these allegations, but we thought that this is a historic moment. Everyone should participate. Secondly, they have not contacted even people that they are with. They have not taken Yashwant Sinha. One second, please, Charanjit, I don't think we need to interrupt each other. You have not even taken Yashwant Sinha to West Bengal. He is from TMC. You have not been able to convince your own people. So don't blame us. And if you think any agency or democracy has been throttled, I request Rahul to increase the time of the debate for 5 minutes. Charanjit can call up Hemant Soren right now during the debate and ask him what pressures he was facing, because of which he has changed his vote to Draupadi Murmuji. I ask him open challenge.
No, but there's a bigger problem. If Mamata Banerjee doesn't even invite Yashwant Sinha to come in campaign in West Bengal, despite Yashwant being a TMC nominee before he became the opposition's choice for president, that says a lot about the kind of people that you're picking. Rajdeep made an important point. Pick somebody whose civil society will be rallied by, somebody who says, okay, here is somebody who represents a secular, different idea of India from the idea that's being pushed by the BJP, by Prime Minister Modi and by the RSS. You couldn't even do that basic thing. You picked somebody who was actually a long-time BJP member. Mr. Sapra?
I think silence is the best answer.
Yeah, I got it. No, see, this is one part where you can, you can choose your words to say all this thing, but Congress and the opposition parties, they have taken a collective decision, and looking at the current scenario, they have taken this decision. I feel in the current scenario, Yashwant Sinha was the best candidate. You can always give examples. Even if I can give example that Uddhav Sena, they are not voting for the presidential candidate, and they'll be voting for the vice presidential candidate, Margaret Alva. So there are similar cases in the past also. There will be such cases in the future also. I feel 2024 will be a different election. There will be a different scenario, and definitely Congress as the principal opposition party will have an upper hand, and different strategies will be worked out. And different strategies will be worked out collectively by the opposition parties.
It's a different election. We'll work out modalities with other opposition parties. It's a different context. Is it, according to you, so different, or it's really a continuation of what we are seeing right now? If they can't pick a candidate together, how will they pick candidates in 543 seats?
Look, I don't think, Rahul, we are ever going to have a Lok Sabha election where you will have 543 opposition candidates in a one-on-one fight with the BJP. I don't think that's going to happen. If the opposition or anyone believes that would happen, I think they're living in a fool's paradise. Across this country, there are so many sharp divisions that exist on the ground between a Mamata and the Congress in Bengal, between the TRS and the Congress in Telangana, these differences between the JMM to some extent and the Congress in Jharkhand. There are differences on the ground. Therefore, 543 candidates to be elected. The Aam Aadmi Party, another X factor, they want to also occupy the space. I think the real question, and I've raised this a few months ago as well, kaun banega principal opposition? That is a question that first needs to be addressed. We took it for granted until now that only the Congress can be the principal opposition, because the Congress's footprint is much larger than any other party. But as we are seeing, there are several states where there are enough opposition parties that will challenge that narrative of the Congress being the principal narrative. And until that issue is settled, how the opposition intends to provide a united front leading up to 2024 is a big question mark. They first need a narrative. They first need a narrative and idea to challenge the BJP. I agree to some extent with Shehzad that the opposition's only narrative has been anti-Modiism. That, you know, this obsession with Mr. Modi cannot be the sole reason to bring the opposition together. This is not, much as the opposition would like to tell you, not 1977. This is not that emergency mindset. There you had a Jaiprakash Narayan. There you were able to have leaders of stature within the opposition who could come together on one platform, the likes of Mr. Chandrasekhar, the likes of Morarji Desai, Jagjeevan Ram, the list was endless. Today the opposition doesn't have those kind of tall leaders who can actually come to the on one platform, both within the Congress and even outside it. So you're going to see a churning, I believe, within the opposition leading up to 2024, and I believe eventually this may well be settled only in 2029, because it will take that much time before the opposition actually is able to throw up a great new idea that can challenge in a way what the BJP represents or what Mr. Modi represents.